So we're just about to start doing a bit of a facelift on the front of the house and the driveway area. So I've got some footage here from over the past few months, and obviously we had the digger on hire when we were doing the patio, so at the same time I decided to use that around the front, and this is us struggling to get it out of the back garden, because obviously we dug away the original ground level, so it's a bit tricky to get out that step. But once we're around the front of the house, there's an odd patch of ground beside the house, which when we moved here it was a bit of a patio. It's not really a usable space, so we ended up using it for a dumping ground for building waste, and as soon as you put some rubbish there, it just accumulated. We cleared out a bit of the yew tree at the bottom to open things up, and then made a start at clearing things out. And this is the wall at the front, which we decided to take down to open it up as a driveway, because it wasn't a usable space before. So it's a case of knocking that down straight into the back of the car and then off to the tip. So like I said, whilst we had that mini digger, it made sense to lift all of these patio slabs up and get rid of those, which would hopefully leave a sub base below, and we were just going to throw down a gravel driveway to give it an immediate facelift. So this is us just pulling them up one by one, and we ended up just breaking them. It's easier to move them around, and these are horrendous looking things. They're bright pink and yellow and green. Unfortunately they'd faded over time and weathered to a grey, but as soon as you break them you see what colour they used to be. I'm sure it was in fashion at one point. So at this point the digger's gone, and I'm just kind of raking out and tidying up what was left behind. I had a few of the oak sleepers left over, so I plonked a few of those down just to hold back any of the soil as a real kind of temporary way of edging, and then we could get ready for the gravel. And although it looks a bit muddy, this is mainly a stone sort of sub base. So at the time I decided that I'd just go over it with the plate compactor and whack it all down, and then I could put the gravel down. In hindsight I probably should have put a membrane down. I thought this was going to be a real short-term solution, the gravel, but you know, knowing how life is, it'll probably be down a few years at least, so we'll just have to keep on top of any weeds that might kind of crop up. But having that whacker plate helped. We got all that down, trimmed anything that was left at the bottom of that yew tree just to tidy it up, so I didn't want the soil spreading out and causing more weeds. And then I got a delivery of gravel, and some gravels for driveways can be extortionate, and they can be like all the fancy colours and stuff. What I wanted is quite a small chip, something big enough that it wouldn't get stuck in the car tyres, but something a bit angular that will lock together, because there's nothing worse than kind of trying to roll a pushchair or the wheelie bin over round sort of washed pebbles, and everything sinks in it. I'd seen this used on a big driveway on an estate near here. It's just limestone chippings, but it almost acts like granite chippings in the same way that it locks together. So I kind of had to split it into half and make sure the base was down, then rake over the gravel. And then what I did is I took a small kind of dusting or scattering of the limestone chippings, put that over the sub base, and then used the whacker again just to key it in, to lock it in, and that would hopefully mean that the sub base wouldn't mix up with the rest of the gravel in the future. And as you can see here, when that compactor goes over, it really locks it down. almost like a smooth road surface. Now obviously it will flick up over time, but it's far nicer than using a pea gravel, where it just sinks and ruts up with the car tyres. And that's where we left it really. So that's kind of back in the summer. We gave it a quick facelift, and the next video I'm going to be showing you all the main plans for the project, where we're going to be taking down the extra wall and really changing how the front of the house works. So thanks for watching, and remember, if you can, do it yourself.